Hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host and WWE enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode we're going to discuss Friday Night Smackdown December 8th, 2023 edition. Not just any old regular edition of Smackdown, though. This was tribute to the troops, and WWE did a great job of blending the special theme of the episode along with a regular episode of Smackdown in terms of stories and whatnot. So overall, good job of blending everything together. And with that, we're going to get right into the action, starting with United States Contender Tournament match, Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. In this contest, a rematch from Survivor Series highlighted the in-ring chemistry of the competitors. However, this was still not a proper showcase for what these two individuals can do together in the ring. Interrupted by a commercial break and Dominic Mysterio hanging around ringside. Thankfully, though, Mysterio didn't have too much of an impact on the match, if at all. He basically just didn't run interference, which is a good thing to see. So a match that had potential to be great ended up being good, and hopefully there'll be an opportunity for these two to compete again on a premium event stage and have more time to put on an absolute show. CM Punk's SmackDown returned, and for those who watched CM Punk's first promo back on Raw and were wondering if PG Punk was going to become the thing, well, those concerns should be eased with a fiery promo Friday night that left no stone unturned. He referenced past issues with Kevin Owens, history of Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman, called Roman Reigns out for never being around, and played up to which brand is he going to sign the storyline. He even dropped a reference to both AEW's All Out 2022 Brawl in his physical altercation with Jack Perry at All In 2023. He also took shots at Seth Rollins, at the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. His final backdrop statement of finishing his story by highlighting WrestleMania should serve to create doubt about Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble. This was everything anyone could have asked for, by sound bites that will be replayed for weeks and nods to potential upcoming storylines for the former WWE champion. Plus, you had some fun backstage interactions with Punk and Owens, and then Punk Orton at night. It's a shame he probably won't be signing with SmackDown, so unfortunately none of those will come to fruition. And unfortunately, Paul Heyman was not on this episode of SmackDown, so missed opportunity to have a backstage interaction between Punk and Heyman. But Punk's gonna do some great things on Raw, and then eventually he's gonna make his way to SmackDown. I don't really get signing CM Punk to an exclusive brand, but I guess it's a good way to kind of keep him focused on one area, focused on certain storylines, rather than given the option to show up on both and then have a whole bunch of things going on. So kind of keep the focus a bit singular. I guess I could see it from that point of view. Nonetheless, Punk made a return to SmackDown here, but again, probably going to sign on Monday Night Raw. And then the main event, Randy Orton and LA Knight team up to take on Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, with Orton and Knight dealing Sikoa and Uso a crushing defeat just a week before the return of Roman Reigns. The Viper and the Megastar overcame early match domination and closed out the match with Orton dropping Uso in an RKO for the second week in a row and earning the hard-fought victory. Of interest is that Paul Heyman was not by the side of the bloodline just at moments after CM Punk reminded the world that he was the first Paul Heyman guy. How that factors in the next week's show, and if Heyman has to answer his absence, will certainly be of the utmost interest. Yeah, so what will Roman Reigns have to say? What will the interaction be like? Will there be an interaction between Roman Reigns and Randy Orton? Will LA Knight make an appearance? Will LA Knight have an interaction with the Tribal Chief? So, yeah, a lot of intrigue to close out the show for next week's show. Job well done right there. In conclusion, over the years, WWE has presented tribute to the troops. Over the years that WWE has presented tribute to the troops, it has been presented as a one-off that has very little to do with ongoing storylines. The matches are secondary to the patriotic sentiment, and The Rock has typically ends with a group of superstars saluting the members of the armed forces in the audience. This show still managed to pay tribute to those who serve their country while staying true to the ongoing stories. It's a great mix of acknowledgement of the special guest services to America America without sacrificing an entire week of narrative. The Funk promo will be the biggest takeaway, as it should. His appearance was the highest touted moment, and he delivered a cutting promo that named everyone everything you could imagine, with a flair of that vintage Punk attitude. Did all the individual segments hit? No. Unfortunately, Charlotte Flair appeared to get injured in her match against Asuka. And then there was the Cody Rhodes promo, which, I don't know, I'm setting this one up bad by including it in which I think I might be setting this one up bad, but I'm not. It's cool. I just want to throw that in there before we close this episode out, saying what a great promo that was from Cody Rhodes there, because as a whole, this was a great show, and the best tribute to the Troop show that WWE has ever produced. Like I said, CM Punk's return, Cody Rhodes had a great promo. He had a pretty good tag team match to close out the show and send the crowd home happy. All in all, it was a hit. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode of the discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below.